All right, guys, last but not least, in this section, we have pie charts and pie graphs or circle graphs, whatever the hell you want to call it. Now, when we create a pie graph, we use a protractor if we're doing it by hand, or we can use usually Excel if we're doing it on a spreadsheet. But if we're doing it by hand, before we can even use the protractor, we must determine the size of the slice. Now, think back to geometry or even other classes, or in general. We know a circle has a total of 360 degrees, right? Which means each slice of the pie will be a fraction of 360 degrees. And when I add up each slice of the pie, that should give me a total of 360 degrees. A pie chart is used to represent qualitative data in the form of a circle graph. Now, to convert frequencies into degrees, we must use the formula below. And it depends if we have a regular frequency or a relative frequency. Usually we have a regular frequency. Now, to convert our frequency into degrees, it is going to be the class frequency divided by the total frequency times 360. Once again, remember, when we collect data, we collect in raw data. Raw data is the actual data. If we want to make some sort of chart, we have to convert it to the correct units of measurement, which can also be percentages as well, but we prefer to use degrees when we create a circle graph. Now, let's go over how to do that. Number 13. A part of a survey, 2,400 people were asked to name their favorite sports to watch. The table below summarizes their answers. This information is also presented in a circle graph. Find the central angle measure of x degrees for football slice in the circle graph and do not round. Okay. Now, football is right here. We want to find how many degrees that is. Let's do that. To find out how many degrees will the football proportion represent, that is going to be the class frequency, which is going to be 624, which is right here. Let's put x degrees. 624 divided by the overall total, which is 2,400. And then you're going to multiply that by 360 because it's 360 degrees in a circle. What's that? I believe that's 0.26, but I could be wrong. 624 divided by 2,400. Yep, 0.26. And we're going to multiply that by 360 degrees. And that equals to 93.6 degrees. So the angle of this circle is 93.6 degrees. And if you notice, we can also find the percentage of that area of the circle. To find the percent, that is going to be the relative frequency times 100. And we already found the relative frequency. The relative frequency is 624 over 2,400, which is 0.26. So I can take my 0.26, multiply that by 100, and that equals to 26%. So 26% of the people in this survey prefer football as their favorite sport to watch. And the degrees for 26% is 93.6 degrees. I don't have a percent here. I meant to put degrees. My apologies. So that's the answer for the question. And this is just an application to percentages. The last one, number 14. But if you notice, this pie chart is in percentages. And that's why I kind of did the last one. It says the pie chart below shows how the annual budget for a certain company is divided by department. If the total cost of the budget is $150 million, what amount is the budget for engineering and support combined? Okay. Engineering is 20%. Support is 20%. 20%, 20% combined is 40%. So that means 40% of the annual budget goes towards engineering and support. To find out the budget for engineering and support, we need to find 40% of $150 million. To find 40% of $150 million, convert 40% into a decimal, so 0.4, and you're going to times that by 150 million. And when you multiply that by 150 million, go ahead, the answer will be 60 million. All right, guys, that is it for this video lecture. That is it to picturing data. Hope you understood each question that I did, understand the relevancy behind it. I'll see you guys soon. Adios.